558 kHz. 6 na dekadang maaasahan sa balita at serbisyo publiko. Ang himpilan ng RMN Network sa Mega Manila. Live sa radyo at online. Kilalanin kung sino-sino sila at alamin ang kanilang hangarin. Tutukan at pakinggan ng mabuti ang kanilang Plataporma. Plataporma ni Dr. Carl Balita sa DZXL News 558 RMN Manila.
Plataporma, taas ang tinig, sa pagkakaisa tayong tipinig.
Ang plataporma ay hatid sa inyo ng Dr. Carl Balita Productions, The Manila Times, DZXL 558 RMN News Manila, Carl Balita Review Center, Carl Institute, Royal Care Marketing Services Incorporated, TIC Medine, at ang Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Quezon City. Kasama natin ngayon isang doktor at ngayon ay tumatakbo bilang representative ng BHW Party List, Dr. Mingita Padilla. Bakit ka tumakbong senador last time?
You have to understand, there's this very strong calling. Kahit alam ko, malamang hindi ako mananalo kasi hindi pa ako kilala. Nakaka-trauma after what happened to us.
Why
BHW?
Why BHW?
Yeah. The idea is to strengthen kasi problema, they're so neglected. Essential but neglected. Kung mag-decide sila na mag-strike isang araw, po-collapse ang health system.
Kailangan natin pag-isipang mabuti ang ating mga iboboto dahil nasa ating kamay ang kanilang kapalaran. Pero huwag natin kakalimutan, ang magiging kapalaran naman natin ay nasa kanilang kamay. Siyempre, ang isang mahalagang ibinoboto natin ay ang party list. Isa lang ang pipiliin ninyong party list. At kasama natin ngayon, isang doktor, isang kilalang leader sa larangan ng kalusugan. At ngayon ay tumatakbo bilang representative ng BHW Party List, Dr. Mingita Padilla. Hi, Dr.
Hello, Carl. Salamat sa pag-imbita sa akin dito.
Ika'y kilalang-kilala sa mundo ng medicine, ng mga doctors. You're a leader, really. Marami kang nilabanan bilang isang doktor. Pwede bang kayo magpakilala sa amin ng inyong pakikipaglaban para sa kalusugan ng mga nakaraang panahon?
More than 30 years na ho akong doktor. Pero hindi lang ako surehano, specialista sa mata. Ako ay nagtaguyod ng eye bank. I'm a leader in that sense, no? The first ever functional talaga na eye bank. Pero bukod ho doon, ang dami kong ipinaglaban ng mga polisiya para sa kapakanan ng mga doktor, mga nurse, mga lahat ng health workers at pati para sa pasyente. One of them was that very infamous malpractice bill. Naalala mo yun?
Naalala ko yun.
Nagkasakit ako noon, Carl, kasi walang gustong magsalita para sa mga doktor. Natatakot sila kasi yung mga journalists or yung broadcast journalists na talagang nagpupush noon ay napaka-popular. We had to stand because ang gusto ng batas na yon maging criminalized yung malpractice. Nowhere in the world, Carl. What does this mean? Kahit, kunyari, nagkamali ka, kahit konti pagkakamali, doktor, nurse, dentista, pati aide kasama, lahat, pati midwife. Kahit konti pagkakamali, criminal charge na.
Kulong.
Hindi lang yon. Kahit patawaran ka na ng pasyente at ng pamilya, tuloy pa rin ang kaso kasi criminal case.
Correct.
Pinayuan ko talaga yon. Now,
At nagtagumpay ka, no?
At nagtagumpay ako.
Nagtagumpay ang medical community,
Yes.
nag-celebrate
because of that. And I know people who remember know that. But it took a lot of courage, and it also took a lot of I just say that faith to do that. No, kasi alam ko naman mali.
And fast track, may ginawa ka recently at kasama ka rin doon.
Hindi sa PhilHealth. No?
Kwento mo nga sa amin yun.
No, di ba, nalaman namin na yung budget ng PhilHealth, almost 90 billion, ay lilipat sa National Treasury para gamitin sa mga proyekto ng gobyerno, sa mga unprogrammed projects na we really found it wrong. Sabi ko nga, hindi lang illegal, immoral. No? And I was part of the first group na nag-file ng kaso sa Supreme Court para ibalik ang pera at sabihin na ito ay unconstitutional at illegal.
Pigilan na
Ang
paglipat.
paglipat ng pondo mula PhilHealth papunta sa National Treasury kasi kulang na nga yung pondo sa kalusugan. Meron tinatawag na mga service gaps na walang serbisyo, kulang ang serbisyo. So, kalukuhan yung sinasabing may sobra. Hindi ginagamit pero hindi ibig sabihin sobra. So, we had a partial victory recently.
Na partial victory kasi?
Na nag-TRO ang Supreme Court. Sinabi, teka, tigil muna yung paglipat ng huling tranche. Pero yung huling bahagi, yung mga 29.9 billion. Pero kung babasahin mo yung desisyon, pati yung dapat 59 billion ang hindi nilipat.
Ibabalik, oo.
Nalipat na yung 30 noon. So sabi na, teka, nalipat na yun, dapat ibalik din yun. So right now, 3 grupo na itong malalaki. Yung unang grupo kami, pati ang Philippine Medical Association. Tapos yung second group, ay yung, I think, kasama yung bayan muna. Yung third group, grupo naman ni Justice Carpio. No? The most important issue is that hindi mangyari again.
Oh, yeah.
At masabi talaga na mali. Kasi the law says that, first of all, you cannot amend a specific law with a general law. May batas yung PhilHealth eh. May PhilHealth law. Meron ding Universal Healthcare Act. Nagsasabi.
Kaya kailangan si Supreme Court na ang magsabi.
Yes.
Kasi magiging jurisprudence yan
yes.
eventually,
So,
no?
kasi imagine kung kada taon, gagawin nila ito, oy, may pera dyan na nakaupo, lipat natin. We will never, hindi natin makakamit ang inaasam natin na universal health care. Yan ang laging pinag-uusapan.
Dr. Ramingita, alam mo, you have a very successful medical career. You're a leader in the profession and in the field, in the sector. Then, maganda yung practice. Tapos, naititindig nyo naman yung mga advocacy. Bakit ka tumakbong senador last time?
You know, you have to understand, there's this very strong calling. There has to be a strong, like ikaw, tumakbo ka senador. You're also very successful. Hindi natin kailangan ng sakit ng ulo.
So talagang calling ang word.
Calling eh. Hindi kailangan ng sakit ng ulo, hindi mo kailangan yung gulo. I was thinking about it and praying about it. And then si Senator Lacson asked me to run with him.
Okay.
No? And it was a last-minute decision. 3 beses ako hindi. 2 beses ako nag-no. Yung third time, talagang
Hindi ka naman ka-no.
Pumunta siya sa bahay. Tapos talk to me. And then said, and I was telling myself, at the time, yung COVID, remember COVID? Tapos nakita natin yung grabe yung sitwasyon. Tapos alam ko rin, ang daming gumagawa ng pera. Yung profiteering, nakita namin yun eh. Kasi sa private sector, we were actually helping. So bumibili kami ng mga gamit at 1/3 the price of some of the government.
So while health professionals were dying,
and we were doing everything we could, there were some people in government profiteering. So sabi ko, when that happened, talagang hindi ko na matanggap. So there was this really strong calling. Kahit alam ko, malamang hindi ako mananalo kasi hindi pa ako kilala. Wala pa akong base, okay? Sabi ko, ang mas masaklap kaysa kabiguan, mas masaklap kaysa matalo ka, ang magsisi.
Tama.
Ang tumingin ka at sabi ko, at magsisi. Kasi hindi ka lumaban, hindi mo sinubukan. And I said, the only thing worse than defeat is regret.
Correct.
And I don't want to regret.
And that's why even if you lost that election, now you're here.
This is another story, no? I was not going to run anymore. Wala akong bala.
Parang ako.
O, di ba? Medyo na-trauma na rin ako.
Correct.
Nakaka-trauma after what happened to us, no? Then, the group of the Barangay Health and Wellness, BHW party list, came to me. Okay. Bakit ko sila kilala? Hindi alam ng maraming tao. Sila ang unang sumuporta sa akin. When this happened, they asked me kung papayag ako. At first, ayaw ko na naman. No? Sabi ko, parang ayoko na, ano na naman to? Parang parang self-flagellation na naman ba to? And I prayed very hard, Carl. I prayed very hard. And then this PhilHealth thing happened. Okay? And then more problems sa healthcare. Nakikita naman natin.
Alam natin.
Alam
It's
natin.
undeniable.
And hindi lang yon. Parang we're going backwards. You know, universal healthcare was envisioned to become like, we were supposed to become like Thailand, no? Yung parang self-sufficient, tapos kung ang mga tao, matututo sila, na kung meron silang nararamdaman, o kahit bago sila magkaroon ng karamdaman, magpapacheck up. Diba? Preventive, promotive, to teach the people the correct habits. Ang nakikita natin ngayon, yung patronage na naman, yung ginagamit na naman ng kalusugan para sa cheap political patronage, it's even stronger than ever.
Correct.
Parang bumabalik na naman sa mali. nakikita natin, di ba? It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And so when they asked me, I prayed very hard. And then, I know real politics is really dirty.
Yeah.
I know naman eh. And they'll say, oh, ginagamit ka. I said, pero sabi ko, it will give me a platform to speak,
Yeah.
a platform to effect laws,
Yeah.
a platform to protect the health workers from very, very, what you call this, cruel
Yeah.
and unreasonable acts,
Environment,
no? A platform, a means to improve healthcare,
Yeah.
a means to improve the implementation of universal healthcare. So in the prayers, I was answered in my in discernment. Stop overthinking.
Yeah.
Huwag kang isip ng isip.
Yeah.
Isipin mo na lang anong kabutihan ang pwede mong
Magawa.
gawin. One of the people who actually played a big role in my decision to run was Mayor Benji Magalong of Baguio.
Okay.
Sabi niya, Minggita, you run. You cannot change the system unless you enter the system. That's what he said.
Yeah. It's
Now-
easier to be, it's lesser number of people you actually need to be a congresswoman compared with being a senator. Kasi
Yes.
you need maybe 10 million, 15 million to be a senator. You just need,
I
isa lang ang
need,
pipiliin.
Yun ang problema. Isa lang ang
isa lang
pipiliin.
pipiliin.
At although much less ang kailangan mong boto. That's a fact.
So
no?
you need 1 million people.
I would say 1 million because
Yeah, safely, yeah.
Safely, they say 800,000. I would say safely 1 million.
Or
no?
say you need 1 million people choose BHW and shade BHW. Why
BHW?
Why BHW?
Yeah. Barangay Health and Wellness. It's not Barangay Health Worker.
Yeah.
Barangay Health and Wellness, ang talagang pakay niya originally is just grassroots health. Talagang
Yeah,
grassroots,
correct.
meaning lahat ng mga health workers sa barangay, especially barangay health workers, sila ang major members. Members talaga sila nito. Ha?
Yeah.
They have about 220,000 members around the country registered, although kung tutuusin, there are about 500,000 BHWs around the country. Many are not even registered with the DOH. Kasi palit ng palit sila
Yeah.
kasi wala silang protection.
Correct.
Kasi pag may bagong barangay captain na ayaw sa kanila,
Palit.
pinapalitan, which should not be the case.
Yeah.
Okay? Yan ang dapat palitan ng Magna Carta. I'll talk about that later. But aside from the BHWs, pati barangay nutrition scholars were already welcoming, barangay health emergency response teams, kasama na rin yon. The idea is to strengthen kasi
The base.
the base. Kasi kung hindi malakas ang base ng medicine, hindi natin makakamit yung magandang universal healthcare.
Tsaka
okay?
ang BHW, under the midwives and the nurses in
Yes,
the area,
yes.
sila talaga yung kilala yung tao eh.
Yes,
sa
sila ang
barangay.
backbone. Sila ang tinatawag kong frontliners for all seasons. No? Na totoo, kahit anong mangyari, andun sila.
Andun sila.
Even the midwives, they'll attest to that, and the nurses, they
Yeah.
need the BHWs. Problema, they're so neglected. Alam mo, there's a paper published recently sa Acta Medica. Ang title is Barangay Health Workers, Essential but Neglected. One of the conclusions there, no, they interviewed so many BHWs, yung life nila, no? Anong ginagawa nila, then they interviewed yung mga nurses, mga midwives, pati mga barangay captains, no? Ang conclusion is they're so essential, napakahalaga nila, na kung mag-decide sila na mag-strike isang araw,
Walang-
magko-collapse, no?
Correct.
Magko-collapse ang health system. Kaya lang, inaapi, wala silang benefits.
Actually, walang sweldo.
Walang sweldo kasi volunteers.
Allowance yan.
But even the allowance, hindi pare-pareho. At sometimes, halos wala. Tapos, abunado pa sila. Kasi it's like, and they have no security of tenure.
Yan,
Yun ang problema. Kahit ilang taon ka ng BHW, kahit may training ka, kung ayaw sa'yo ng barangay captain, basta tatanggalin ka lang. And wala no parang retirement, kahit one-time retirement
Wala,
pay,
oo.
walang health benefits, wala.
Ikaw yung nagbibigay ng health, pero
And yet, yes.
wala kang benefit.
Kaya iniisip nila, and maniwala ka sa hindi, no? Most of them are really doing it because of love of the community. Nakakaiyak when you hear their
that's
stories.
correct.
And it's true. And then people don't believe such people exist. People like this exist.
Yeah.
who-
Sila yung mga nanay, tita.
Mostly nanay at tita ito. Kasi most of the BHWs are women. Age mga 45 up, no? But talagang they say na, ano mangyayari sa amin kung kami naman ang magkasakit?
Tama.
Kasi walang,
Actually, nung pandemic,
Yeah, oo.
yan ang tanong nila sa
Yeah.
sarili nila. Sila yung nag-frontline,
Yes.
pero wala silang security.
Correct.
Ni mask wala sila.
Wala. In fact, during the COVID pandemic, nabanggit mo, Carl, no? Di ba, nagko-contact tracing, no? Pag may makontak sila sa taas, oy, ditong taga-barangay X, kunyari, no? Mukhang may COVID. Tatawagan nila yung BHW. Oy, hanapin mo nga si Mr. So-and-so dito sa kanyang bahay. Puntahan mo, check up on him. So sila ang nagmo-monitor. Sila ang nagmo-monitor sa mga tao, either merong COVID or possible COVID, pero wala silang health benefits.
Correct.
So this is the life of the BHW. Meron ng batas, Republic Act 7883 of 1995, which is supposed to protect the BHW. Kasama na ron yung training, etc. Pero yung interpretation, yung implementation, iba-iba dahil sa devolution.
Okay.
So, kanya-kanyang barangay, kanya-kanyang interpretasyon. Itong Magna Carta for BHWs, which, in fairness again to our current rep, pinasa na sa Kongreso. It was passed sa 2022 sa lower house. Ngayon sa Senate, they're waiting for some clarifications daw from DBM as to funding. Okay?
Alright. So may chance na maging
May
law.
chance, no? And I hope talaga maging law. But Carl, hindi natatapos doon ng Barangay Health and Wellness party list, no? They got me. Okay? Ako isa sa mga spokesperson ng Universal Healthcare Study Group ng University of the Philippines.
Being a product of UP yourself.
Yes, and I was asked to be a spokesperson towards the latter part hanggat maging batas in 2019. Di ba?
So in other words, naiintindihan mo ang universal healthcare?
Yes, very much so. No? Kaya, I know what it should achieve.
In a nutshell, ang universal healthcare, yan ang dapat isiguro ang kalusugan ng bawat Pilipino. Mahirap, mayaman.
Yes, para walang Pilipino ang dapat maghirap. Nobody should experience yung talagang financial catastrophe dahil lamang may nagkasakit.
Ayun. So
Okay?
yun ang pangako ng
Universal
universal healthcare
healthcare.
na hindi pa natin nararamdaman.
Hindi pa nararamdaman, hindi pa
Okay.
natutupad.
So kailangan natin ng isang taong naiintindihan yun.
Correct. I served in PhilHealth also as the head executive staff of the Secretary of Health in the latter part ni Pinoy. Okay? So alam ko rin yung what's happening inside, no? And alam ko kung anong mga reforma ang kailangan sa loob ng PhilHealth. Kasi hangga't hindi magawa ang mga reforma na yan, hindi rin natin makakamit ang universal health care because PhilHealth is the main payer. Siya ang nagbabayad ng lahat ng serbisyo, di ba? Ng mga doktor, ng ospital,
Siyang
pati
gasolina ng
sa yung
US.
gasolina.
Oo.
Kung yung source ng gasolina ay palpak o may problema, may butas, nagli-leak yung gasoline or something, hindi mo ma-monitor kung talagang nasaan yung gasolina.
Correct.
Hindi mangyayari yun, di ba?
Yeah.
So, again, that's also one of the reasons the party list asked me. Because ang vision nila ng party list is not anymore just
BHW.
grassroots, okay?
Yeah.
Grassroots is the very foundation. Kasi kung wala yan, wala mangyayari sa taas,
Correct.
di ba? Pero integrated ito, holistic ang view.
So they needed a health leader
Yes,
to be there.
somebody with experience
Okay,
also.
Okay,
Yes.
kami at pinili nila ang BHW, you are able to sit as a congresswoman. Ano yung first 3 laws na ipapasa mo?
Kung hindi pa napasa yung barangay healthcare workers, Magna
Ipupush mo
Carta,
pa rin yun, no?
ay pupush ko talaga yon. That's one. The
Pero
other
bakit
one,
naiwan dun sa ang BNS, ang Barangay Nutrition Scholars?
we can have another one for that. No, in fact, maybe we can modify it. So it's not just the barangay health workers, but even the barangay nutrition scholars,
Yeah.
because they're also begging us now to look at their plight. So siguro, kung hindi siya maging batas, pwede na natin i-amend, isama na rin sila. The
Kasi
other one-
pangit yung maiwan ng BNS kasi napakalaki ng issue ng nutrition ng mga
Correct,
bata.
correct. That's very true.
Actually, yan
no?
ang inaabangan ko laging sasabihin ng may mga advocacy sa education. Yung iba salita
Okay.
ng salita about education,
Yun.
kalimutan nila na yung mga
Nutrition.
bata
Nutrition.
malnourished.
Yeah. The ones who run Knowledge Channel, they're also trying to do this. Kasi yung nutrition daw, ang hawak lang nila is children who are in the school age, mga nursery up, from 0 to 2. Very important, wala.
1,000 days.
So they're asking me if the BHWs can do this. I said, certainly they can, but they also have no sweldo. But if we can actually put that as part of their job.
Correct.
Diba?
So
That's
expand
one.
mo yan, number
okay,
one.
Number
Number
2, human resources, meaning mga tao.
Okay.
Health workers. I'm talking about nurses. I'm talking about doctors. I'm talking about nursing aides. I'm talking about medtechs. We have a crisis. Ang dami natin kailangan gawin.
Health human resource in general.
Yes, it's a bill for health human resource. We cannot stop, and we should not stop our health human resource people, yung mga nurses, for example, from seeking greener pastures.
Of
You cannot
course.
do that. But we cannot also do it at the expense of taking care of our own people.
Correct.
There has to be a balance. Now, how do we achieve that? Andun yun. Nobody really wants to leave their own country.
Of course.
Kung pwede ka lang dito.
And your family.
And your family and everything you love, no? Yung kapwa mo, no? The term kapwa is very Filipino. No? Gusto mo dito kung pwede, no? At marami naman abroad gusto rin umuwi, 'di ba? Pero anong madadatnan nila pag uwi nila? If, for example, we can have pilots, gusto ko ng pilots pilot communities, wherein you teach them how to value their health workers.
Correct.
Itong nurse na to, ipaaral ninyo yan, babalik sa inyo, ituring ninyo yung bayani yan. What do you go for that person? Free housing. Ganun dapat. Yan ang ginagawa sa ibang bansa. Free housing. Yung kasawa niya, hanapan nyo ng trabaho.
Yung anak pag-aralin.
Yung anak, pag-aralin. Bigyan mo siya ng professional growth. Give them a
Yun ang
path.
positive practice environment.
Yes. Igagawin kong batas yun. Yun ang gusto kong batas. Because
Yeah.
let's stop. Puro platitudes lang ito, Carl. Platitudes
ano
lang
natin,
Oo.
pagtulungan natin yan. Ang ganda ng model ng UST. Pag
Yeah.
doon ka nag-work as a nurse, yung anak mo, libre sa tuition fee.
Actually, we
that
should do
creates
that.
the positive practice.
Yes, and I really believe that we should be able to demand that if you graduate from a state college or university, you must serve for a
Yeah.
few years. Kasi yung tuition mo, galing sa atin yun.
Correct.
Isipin ninyo, ha, okay, kayo, why can't you stay 2 years kung maganda naman ang trato sa'yo? Kung maganda naman ang bibigyan kayo ng bahay, yung gano'n, etc., no? Yung life experience ninyo, work experience is decent, no? And then, makakasiguro yung pagulang ninyo na kung magkasakit sila, may
Meron.
tao. May
Correct.
tao. Kasi all of that, babalikan at babalikan din tayo. It is a matter of national security. Because we're going to have another pandemic, I'm telling you. When we have another pandemic, what are we going to do? Saan tayo pupulutin kung wala tayong health workers?
Correct. At
So,
naranasan na natin yan.
Yeah.
Hindi
At
pa
least,
ba sapat?
Naranasan na natin, meron pang health workers, bagamat kulang. Ha? Kasi
Correct.
after the first year of the pandemic, about 40% of the nurses resigned from private hospitals and 20% resigned from public hospitals. Can you imagine now, maraming talaga sa mga hospital, Carla, I'm telling you, hirap na hirap na.
Yeah,
Isa pa,
Oh.
Carla. Kasi alam ko, may mga tie-ups itong mga ospital at mga ibang universities sa governments,
Affiliation.
no, sa foreign governments. No?
Yeah.
63% of the nurses in Singapore are Filipinos. 63%.
That's correct.
Alam ko yon that they're even giving tuition fee,
Yeah,
etc.
scholarships.
Now, how can we help our hospitals? Kasi mga hospital natin, especially the private, wala na silang mga tao. They cannot even put up new beds because they don't have the staff. No? Why don't we make it a law or demand? We have the goal there. You know,
Demand
we have the
them to
people.
pay.
Demand these people who want to get our nurses,
Magbayad kayo.
bayaran mo muna sila as training dito sa, first 3 years or 2
Yeah.
years dito sa ospital, kayo mo muna magbayad, you augment their sweldo.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can have them. But we've already trained them, they've served their people. It's a balance, no?
How
And
do you strike the balance na
That's the balance,
gustong kumita ng mga nandito at manatili dito, enough yun.
Yes.
Gustong umalis, may
Meron
pakinabang
din.
pa rin tayo
Yes,
doon.
dapat ganun. Dapat ganun tayo mag-isip.
Dapat nga may bayad yung mga bansang kumukuha ng tao sa atin.
Yun,
Kasi
dapat dito magbabayad.
may expension
Oo.
Hindi naman pwedeng padiba sa private school ka. Kahit pa kung kinder to college, private school, may ginamit kang social service as a Filipino.
Correct. And, and if we have to start
That's
this...
bilateral.
Yeah, it's
Which
bilateral.
is government to government.
Yes, that's also what I want.
Which
no?
is pwedeng pakialaman ng Congress.
Yes. We have isa pang law, ha? Meron na ngayong AO, ang Department of Education, CHED. CHED at DOH regarding yung tinatawag na every year mag-aaral ka.
Yung
tapos
ladders.
no? If you finish 1 year, I think pwede kang nursing aid, di ba? If you finish 2 years, iba-iba. Hanggat third year, I think it's what they call clinical
Nursing associate.
Parang gano'n. Pag 4 years, eligible ka na maging...
BSN.
Yes, no? And then maging registered nurse, no? Each ladder, pwede kang umalis Pwede kang i-hire, pero dun ka lang. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin nurse ka.
I-take advantage mo, iba yan.
Yes. So, but you can at least do something. Kasi sa ospital, kung meron tayong ganon, hindi tayo masyadong undermanned.
So you're for the
Yes.
ladderization
The ladderization of
of the
education.
nursing program.
Yes, that's one. But we have to make it into a law. Right now, it's not a law. It's just an AO.
It's not just a curriculum.
No, it should be a law. Because, you know, in
Yeah,
the
because
US...
you have to amend the nursing law.
Yes,
because
the
the
Nursing
nursing
Act.
law, the Nursing Act describes that there's only one
One.
form of nursing, which is the BSN.
Let's grow up. Really sorry. Our world is changing.
Yeah.
And the whole world lacks health workers. It's
Yeah.
not just the Philippines. The entire world lacks health workers. Yung COVID talagang naging grabe. Talagang ganon, no? Imagine a world without health workers. Imagine a world na hindi ka pwedeng kunan ng temperature o BP kasi, hindi pwede kasi
Hindi ako BSN.
hindi ka BSN.
Oo, no.
You understand, no?
Yeah, yeah.
But we reserve there are certain functions that
the need
only...
is the necessity is the mother of
Yes.
innovation. So.
It happened in the US before. They did that. It was a necessity. So that's why they have now those things.
Are you for nursing specialist? The nurse
I was going to
specialty?
say, I'm going to say that. You know, we have many nurse practitioners, Filipinos, abroad.
Yes.
They want to come home. What do they come home to?
Even those who are here. Kasi
Even those who are
na-trap
here.
na yung nandito,
Yeah,
wala na
hanggang
siyang
doon.
growth, wala na yung
Yeah.
positive practice environment.
Correct.
Kasi wala na siyang next level.
Correct.
Oo.
Now, we should realize that the world is changing. We have to change with the world, and it's a necessity. So, whether they will iko-contra, no, sige, let's do something, but
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's
Let's
talk.
do something.
Let's find the common ground.
Let's open our minds. There must be regulation, okay? Hindi naman pwedeng kahit sino na lang, because you have to take courses, you have to pass exams, di ba? It should be
At saka
regulated.
gagawin din
no?
ng tao, sample, sa mga hospitals, okay, hindi nga pumapasa sa board, na nursing, pwedeng mag-nurse doon. Iba nga lang pangalan.
Correct.
Oh,
Gagawin ng mga ospital yun.
Hindi naman siya tinawag na nursing aid kasi nga ayaw ng
Ayaw ng
nurses to be
nurses.
called nursing aid.
Yun nga eh.
Pero ginawang NCA.
That's my
at kung
point
ano-
is you'll find a way
They find
because
a
of
way.
necessity.
So,
Why
might as
don't-
well regulate it.
That's regulated. That's another one, no?
Yeah.
And the other, for the doctors naman, I think our government should also appreciate the fact that so many of us do charity work.
Yeah,
And yet, we don't get any tax breaks.
tama.
Oh, why don't we give the doctors tax breaks for all the charity work we do?
Correct.
That's one. Sa US,
Tax
ginagawa nila yun.
incentives, nila.
Tax incentives for all the charity work. You keep using us for charity work. And we do it because it's part of our humanitarian
Yeah,
calling, no? But at the same time, you tax us like anything, no? Isa pa to, this is funny, no? Oh, ito Kami mga doktor, lahat ng tao, kung senior citizen ka na, automatically,
May discount.
hindi lang, libre ka na sa PhilHealth.
Okay, yeah.
Di ba, senior citizen, the state pays the for you. Kami mga doktor, as long as we're still practicing, hindi.
Ganon.
Kahit 60 years old, kahit 70 years old ka na, you have to keep paying your premium kung gusto mo mag-practice bilang doktor.
No.
Fair ba yun?
Discriminatory.
Discriminatory? O
Correct.
bakit ganon? Di ba? Hindi, ang daming mga batas na kailangan i-revisit for
Correct.
us, no? And, Carl, I can go on and on.
Yeah, and
I can
non-stop
go on
to.
and on.
Because
Non-stop
health,
ito.
health really is very complex eh.
Yeah.
And the health workers, hindi lang naman pwedeng doktor at nurses ang pag-usapan
No.
natin dito or BHW. Kasi sobrang lahat affected eh. And the demand is so much. Ang akin lang dito, Dr. Mingita, is yung ibang bansa, sobrang premium ang binibigay sa mga health workers natin. You know how much important our nurses are overseas?
I know.
I mean, they are willing to even pay a tuition fee of 4 years for nursing.
I know. That's
so
how
that a
desperate.
hospital can get them.
That's how desperado sila.
Yung may
Ayun.
isang bansa na dati 2 years ang requirement para magtrabaho ang nurse. Ngayon hindi, fresh graduate, ka na.
Ganun ka desperado.
Ganun ka desperado.
Alam mo, my gosh, Carl, kung makita mo yung statistics ng mga nurses na kailangan, okay, now, we are producing gold. Ang ating produkto ay ginto. Mga health workers natin. And not just the nurses, even mga doktor,
Correct.
even mga, alam mo, sa mga ER abroad, kinukuha yung mga doktor natin.
And generally, hindi lang health, kasi even engineering,
Yes,
architecture,
professionals,
talagang yung
yeah.
professionals group. And compassion and culture, I mean, hospitality, sumakay ka sa cruise ship, Pilipino
Yes,
halos
alam
lahat.
ko, yes.
Punta ka sa mga hotel, sino dyan ang mga front desk?
Filipinos,
ang mga
no?
bellboys, etc.
We're conquering the world
Oo
without
nga
them.
eh.
Hindi alam, pero
Now,
tayo
how
na.
can we not conquer ourselves, di ba? Oh.
No, that's why we have to instill in ourselves the sense of
Kapwa.
the sense of pride, the sense of loving our community, and then we have to also put the right values into our leaders. Kasi yung mga leaders natin, di ba isa nagkakandara pa sila to give millions and millions and millions for one gold medal. It's good. It's very good that you give a recognition. But bakit hindi nyo tinulungan nung nagtitrain? Doon nila gawin, no? But what about the health workers? What about the nurse or the doctors who serve in the barrios that are so unserved? Yung mga tumatawid ng ilog, no, para lang makaabot sa mga tao.
Yung mga midwife na nagkakabayo
Oo.
para magpaanak sa kabilang baryo.
Ako, naiiyak ako when I think of them, no? And then, why don't we give them the treatment of heroes?
Kung talaga mahalaga sa kanila ang kalusugan, may pagpipilian sila, and one of them is the
Yes,
BHW.
And you know, I am not the only nominee, okay? Our first nominee is a psychologist whose main advocacy is women and children's
So, meron pa rin
welfare.
health.
Women and children's welfare.
And mental health is
And
a big
mental
deal
health.
now.
Yung kanyang is mental health especially. No?
Okay.
Ako naman, health in general, health workers, and
Okay.
universal health care. And we are really representing yung mga marginalized.
It's about time na yung technocrats take positions in
Yes.
in this legislation.
Yeah.
Imagine niyo yung Senado kung may doktor doon.
Yeah.
Halimbawa, lumusot ka.
Yeah.
Imagine niyo yung Senado ngayon. Imagine niyo yung Senadong may teacher doon. Or may nurse doon. Ngayon, may mga nagbibigay ng chance sa atin na mapagpilian.
Yes.
I'm not looking back to sour grape or to sweet lemonade, no? Ang sa akin lang is I'm looking forward, that's why we have Plataporma.
Yes.
Because we would like to help those who may want to be heard.
Yeah,
And be included in the consciousness of those people who at the end of the day will have to choose.
agree. And also, to give the people a chance.
Yeah.
Alam nyo, not everybody understands that ang party list eh. Alam mo ba yun?
Yeah.
Kahit yung mga may pinag-aralan, hindi nila alam. Alam mo, sa totoo lang before, ako hindi ko rin alam eh. So kung boboto ako ng party list noon, sino ba yung boboto ko? Sino ba dito? Hindi ko alam
Kasi
kung ano
hindi
ba to.
tao, pangalan siya. Napakahaba niyan.
Kasi walang tao, pangalan.
Sa akin ang haba yan. Oo.
Oo, so
Ngayon,
parang-
190, 156.
150, yes. Now,
Oo.
at least ngayon, they're taking it more seriously, I think. May mga party list ho na talagang legitimate at authentic.
Hanapin nyo na lang.
At I'm telling you, Barangay Health and Wellness is one of those. No?
Yeah. Pero
Yes.
I have to put you on the spot for
Sure.
some issues.
Yes.
Reproductive health.
Okay, reproductive health, I believe that, well, I'm against abortion. That's one, no?
Okay.
But I believe reproductive health should be a choice of the woman. Because for me, at least as far as my religion is concerned, I do not really believe abortion is the answer.
Okay.
But to avoid having to do abortion, give them a way to prevent the pregnancy. Teach them.
What about divorce?
I don't want it to come to the point that it's like the US. What you call yung no contest ng, I just want to leave my husband, I just want to leave my wife. However, I also believe that we have to have a means wherein people who can no longer live together, to the point that you're already causing each other misery and causing your children misery, can have a way to separate. The divorce will allow the spouse with less in life to get some
All right.
alimony, di ba? Some support, no? I think that's what I want is that, but I would demand, I would require counseling, I would require psychiatric or psychological analysis, and I would not allow divorce for the sake of divorce.
Same-sex marriage.
I don't call it marriage. I call it same-sex partnership. We should allow them to have, for example, joint bank accounts and to be able to make decisions for each other. This one, I don't agree in marriage. I agree in partnership.
It's
Civil
partnership.
union.
It's civil union.
I agree with civil union.
Okay, but you're for Soji bill.
They should have the same rights as everybody else, but not more rights.
Not more.
You understand?
Yeah,
The same rights as everybody. Because it becomes discriminatory to us. Now, your point is, all of us are human beings.
So what protects them should protect everyone.
Yes.
And what protects everyone should protect them. Okay,
Okay?
that's-
And my point is, they should not be discriminated upon for jobs, di ba? Just as we shouldn't, just because I'm a woman or my religion is different, and if their sex, their gender identity, it should not be a reason to say, hindi ka pwede sa trabaho. Unless, of course, it's in a religious organization. I mean,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous na, di
You're
ba?
right.
I remember na before, yung mga feminist movement, no? I am a very fortunate person because my father always treated my sister and I like a human being. Not you're a woman, you're a man. My sons have more rights than my daughters. Never. He always told us, you can be anything you want. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. No? Kaya siguro, I did not feel so much the need to be shouting in the streets for feminist
for
laws.
feminism.
No? But feminism in the sense that man and woman are not the same.
Yeah.
we're equal but not the same. So if anyone wants to be the same as a man, I'm not for that. But
correct.
equality is different. Yes, we are equal, but not the same. No?
You're right.
Dapat, the day will come, we have been victorious. Nanalo tayo, kami mga kababaihan, no? When it's no longer necessary to celebrate
To celebrate it.
Women's Day alone, because we are human beings.
Yeah.
Once we see each other as human beings, then we have won.
So it's not about celebrating it because you're a woman, but celebrating it because you're a person. You're
And
a
you are
human
being
person.
seen as a person.
Great, great.
No?
I would have asked you a lot of questions related to other areas, but health alone is so broad.
So broad.
Health alone is such a problematic area, and we're still in crisis. And I really wish that someone as good as you are, or as I should say, we are, should be there so that we can be stewards of what matters most to us. And finally, if there is one confession you have to make,
Confession?
before the public knows about it, what's
A
that?
confession? I've been married twice. I had an annulment from my first husband.
All right.
That's one. No? And I'm married to my second husband,
Okay.
who's a doctor. Okay, Victor Lopez. Okay, my first husband was a foreigner, and that's why I understand sometimes that sometimes some things have to end. And I'll tell you, I can share this.
Sure.
That's why I have my own experience. What bothered me so much was, did I try hard enough? Ganun eh.
And what's your answer to that
And
question?
I asked a priest, a theologian, and everything, when do you say enough is enough? When does a woman say, or a person in a marriage say, enough is enough? No? You can no longer continue. No? And he told me, the time to leave is when you know that staying would make you unfaithful to yourself.
Wow.
Grabe, no?
Beautiful. So deep.
It's so deep.
Tagalogin nga natin yun.
Kailan ka kailangan kumalas o umalis ng tahanan na talagang sinubukan mo na lahat. Nasisira na yung ulo mo.
Ang
You're already
sagot
getting
doon ay-
sick. Ang sabi ng isang pare, kailangan ka nang umalis sa isang samahan.
Isang
no?
relasyon.
Sa relasyon. Kung ang ibig sabihin, ang pananatili doon, ang ibig sabihin ay hindi ka na magiging totoo
At matapat.
at tapat sa iyong sarili o sa sarili mo, sa iyong tunay na pagkatao.
And you know what? That's also probably an advice that we will give our viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, kailan ka dapat magsisi sa binoto mo. This has been a nice conversation, Dr. Minguita. It's always nice talking to you. And
Always
we really
nice,
wish
yeah.
that a lot of Filipinos, especially health workers in general, will be able to hear these doctors, up to the doctors, down to whatever
Barangay
frontliners we
workers,
have.
yes.
Pero talagang mahalaga ang kalusugan. Maring sa sektor lang mismo yan, marami kayong pagpipilian. Subalit kayo magdidesisyon kung sino ang kakatawan sa isa sa pinakamahalagang bagay sa buhay natin, ang ating kalusugan. At kasama yung salitang yon sa BHW. Yung H po ay health. Ang ibig sabihin ay kalusugan. Sumayin niyo po si Dr. Minguita Padilla, a nominee to the BHW party list. Maraming salamat. This has been Dr. Carl Balita for Plataporma.
Maganda ang supply ng pagkain, mababa ang presyo ng pagkain.
Isang problema talaga ng ating mga mahirap, yung kawalan ng hustisya.
I really love leading people. I love to serve. The more you give, the more you receive.
Lalabanan natin ang korupsyon.
I am not running for my desired result. I'm running because it's a calling.
Manipulated, di ba? Hindi malayang pagdedesisyon ang nangyayari.
Alam niyo ba yung anti-bawsi? Alam niyo ba na may karapatan din kayo na hindi magutom?